Well, here we go again. It's Chiefs and Bills this time of year. Let's get into it on the TPT podcast.
Welcome in, guys, to another episode of the TPT podcast.
Tyler, Jason Dunn. Good to have you back on the podcast.
Will Shields, welcome into the podcast.
Well, everyone, this is the time of year. It is Bills, it is Chiefs. This is the game like every year for the NFL, in my opinion, that like not only like it may not be the best game every year, but it's like the most hyped game every year. It's really the Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady kind of matchup every year. It's Kansas City, it's Buffalo, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen. And it's really crazy that we have like two markets that are like considered small markets, like in Buffalo and Kansas City, that are really like the mecca of matchups every year for the NFL. I mean, obviously, yeah, like Indianapolis is a small kind of market, but like Boston to me is not really a small market. When it was Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, and then you had Denver. Denver, you know, you can consider a small market versus New England, but not as much as like Kansas City versus like Buffalo. Like at least people will say like, okay, I want to go to Denver because like I'm going to go to the mountains and you know it's pretty. But like not a lot of people are going to Kansas City unless they want like the best barbecue in the world. So it is crazy how like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes have made like these two small markets like the biggest matchups each and every year. But on today's episode, guys, I'm going to give you some reasons why this Kansas City Chiefs team can get things done. Let's get into it. So Monday night, the Chiefs offense was rolling once again. A lot of people can say, well, they didn't have Jaden Daniels, but their defense was healthy. And the Chiefs offense has been rolling. Leads the NFL in yards since week one. Putting up points, leading the league in yards. This Chiefs team is really finding ways to get things done offensively. Rashee Rice coming back is a true number one. 90-something yards in the game. Absolutely just finding ways to get open. And then when he has the ball in his hands, he's producing. 100% we can say, is he a number one receiver in the NFL? He definitely is a number one receiver, in my opinion. I mean, he just, again, always find ways to get getting it done and finding ways to get open. And Patrick Mahomes continues to lead the NFL in total yards, tied for passing touchdowns, but he's got the most total touchdowns, most total yards in the NFL. And now he's getting like we just talked about, a guy like Rashee Rice, and then along with his other weapons, this is the first time the Buffalo Bills in the last two seasons will face Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Rashee Rice. And here's another guy I wanted to bring up too, is I kind of want to see Thornton again. Like I think Thornton's just as good as Hollywood Brown. I really do. And I'm a big Hollywood Brown guy being an Oklahoma fan. But I want to see more of Thornton back in there. The first couple weeks he was huge for us. I don't want to see him just not. I mean, the last couple of games he hasn't even got a look. He hasn't got a catch. So I definitely want to see more of that. In this game, like we're going to talk a little bit more about it in depth, but the weapons compared to Buffalo's weapons in this game, Patrick Mahomes, just with this year for the first time in the last 2 to 3 seasons, with a flurry of guys he can go throw to. And Travis Kelce, second in the league in yards for a tight end. He's looking younger than ever, especially this last game on Monday night. Almost 100 yards receiving, a touchdown. So Kelce looking like Kelce of a couple years ago. Not as quick, not as fast, but still able to get open and be big in big moments on like third downs. So the offense right now is clicking for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously with Pacheco out, That's going to be huge. So Pacheco, we're not going to have Pacheco for this game. So Rashard Smith and Kareem Hunt got to step it up. I'm sure they'll activate Elijah Mitchell. But this is going to be a game where this running back's got to be able to set up the pass. They don't got to necessarily have 100 yards, but they got to be able to set up the pass for the Kansas City Chiefs. I look at some of the other things here, some of the other stats. Even a guy like Noah Gray in this game, like the little thing is going to be big. He's another guy that played really well last year, but hasn't really had his type of like big game. He was up there for some statistical categories for tight ends last year. He had over 500 yards. I thought he had a really well season for them last year. He hasn't really got going for us this year, but that's something I'd like to see more, is just a little bit more of Noah Gray in some of these games. More 13 personnel for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then another thing we got to get into a little bit here is the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Opponents points per game. Excuse me there. They rank second in the NFL at 16.5 points a game. This defense has played well. Really, teams don't put up a lot of points for us. And I've seen a lot during this week of a lot of people pointing out, oh, this is going to be like a big scoring, high scoring game. Bills and Chiefs. Like, I think that's what people think, just because when Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen get together, that's usually the case. I don't see that happening. Obviously, I'll have my game prediction here in a minute, but I don't see that happening at all. Opponents' yards per game, they're also fourth. Most statistical categories for this defense, they are like top five. They're top five. But the only thing I'd like to see more is us to get a little bit more sacks. We're 14th in the National Football League with sacks. But I would like to see the Kansas City Chiefs get to Josh Allen a little bit more. And Josh Allen, to me, this season has been a little bit different. He's been more like old Josh Allen. And that's still a great quarterback. But he's been a little bit more antsy. He freaks out a little bit too much, I think, in the pocket this year. As soon as the pocket collapses, he wants to make big plays, and he's running around. Like, there was a couple times versus this Dolphins game where he was running around, and instead of just like taking the check down or just running, he running around and then getting sacked because he's trying to make a big play. So I think that's the thing he's got to be careful, and the Chiefs really got to take advantage of this week. Bills are still averaging 29 points a game. That's fourth in the NFL. Defensively, points per game, they're still pretty good. But this defense, to me, is just not nearly as good as it has been in years past for the Buffalo Bills. They're still finding ways to get it done, but this is not a Buffalo Bills defense that has been what it's been the last couple of years. On defense, they don't really have that like big playmaker guy. Obviously, they have Ed Oliver, and he's not going to play this game. I'm going to get to the injury report, obviously, but he's not going to play in this game. But I still have a guy like Joey Bosa, and Josh Simmons will not play again in this game for personal reasons. He will be out along with Pacheco. Those are the two big injuries for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the how to break down this Bills defense is they really like to keep like a spy on Patrick, like so he can't run and get out of the pocket when things collapse. I don't think they have this option this time. Like Matt Malone and those guys have done a great job of like Patrick's not able to scramble and like make big plays, like even with his arms. Like they send that little QB spy in when he tries to roll to the pocket. They do a great job of that. I don't think they have the option of doing that this year. With the amount of weapons Patrick has at his disposal, and how, again, Rashee Rice did not play against the Buffalo Bills last year in the regular season or the playoffs. So that's a big thing. I think that's where Patrick Mahomes is going to have, and also having Travis Kelce. I don't know who they're going to really want to put on Travis Kelce. And then you got Rashee Rice out there. And then, of course, you got Xavier Worthy along with all the other little gadgets and gizmos. And I really want to see a lot of Rashard Smith in this game. They kind of have to. I want to kind of see what we got in him. So let's see a little bit more of him. But how you really stop them on offense? If you can shut down the running game in Cook, I think that the Buffalo Bills have a problem. He is so much of their offense. Because, guys, in this game, in these Buffalo versus Kansas City games, Josh Allen drops back a minimum of 37 times in this game. So he's going to have to drop back 35 plus times in this game. And I think that's where the Chiefs have advantage. Because outside of Shakir, I don't really trust a guy like Coleman. And I think the Chiefs' secondary is good enough. The linebackers are great. The real problem is the pass rush. I really want to see Karlaftis and Chris Jones get going. Chris Jones was a no-show last week. Obviously, I get it. He gets double-teamed and this, that, and the other. But the other guys like Mike Dana, you got Derek Nottie, they have to have a good game. Because Josh Allen, his ability to scramble, that's where the Chiefs have to be able to make tackles. And on these 4th and 1 and these 3rd and 1s or 4th and 2, 3rd and 2s, they have to get stops like they have in years past. That is my number one thing this week. How the Chiefs win this game is the short and whatever it is, the short and 4, the short and 3s. That's how the Chiefs win this game versus the Buffalo Bills. And let's get into my key players of the game. So I just talked about it. The guys on the defensive line. I think Derek Nottie is going to be my number one key player of the game because he's a guy that, again, it's the X Factor type guys. It's the guys that aren't the big name guys. My other type of guy who's going to be my X Factor type guy of the game is another guy on the defensive line, Derek Nottie. What can he do? He had a great game last game. He had an interception, guys. He had a sack. He had a bunch of tackles. So I want to see him get loose on this offensive line who's a little bit dwindled for the Buffalo Bills like it has been in years past. On the offensive side of the ball, I want to see Hollywood Brown have a good game again. Again, they're going to be all over guys like Worthy. They're going to be all over the guys like Rashid Rice. I want to see Hollywood Brown be that other guy who they're not they're not really focused on this game. But guys, this is going to be such a good game. This is not going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be a game where it's going to be a little bit more defensive game. The Chiefs kind of start out slow. Bills kind of start out slow. But I think this is a game where the Chiefs win it 24-21. Yes, 24-21. I think the Chiefs get a big stop in the fourth quarter to win this game. 24-21 or 24-20. Kansas City. I think they get it done in this game. Let me know what you guys think, how the Kansas City Chiefs can win this game in the comment section below. We will see you guys next time on the TBT podcast. Let's go Chiefs. It's Bills Chiefs week.